today, we're celebrating one of the most groundbreaking consoles in gaming history, the original Sony PlayStation. That's right, we're counting down the top 10 PlayStation 1 games of all time. These aren't just nostalgic favorites, they're the defining titles that helped shape the industry and cemented PlayStation's legacy. Before we dive into the list, let's first look at some incredible games that didn't quite make the top 10. Ape Escape. The first game to require the DualShock controller, Ape Escape was a wildly creative platformer with a ton of gadgets, personality, and replay value. Tomba, a colorful and charming action platformer with RPG-like quests and tons of charm. It's a cult classic that more people should play. Vagrant Story, a dark tactical RPG from Square with incredible dungeon design, deep weapon customization, and a cinematic presentation that was ahead of its time. Suikoden 2, a legendary JRPG with an epic story, political intrigue, and 108 recruitable characters. It's one of the best RPGs of the era, hands down. Tenchu, Stealth Assassins. Before Assassin's Creed or Splinter Cell, there was Tenchu. This stealth action game made you feel like a real ninja, with rooftop stalking and dramatic assassinations. Now, with those out of the way, let's count down the absolute best the PS1 had to offer. At number 10, we have Spyro 2: Ripto's Rage. Spyro's second adventure refined everything that made the original great. Bigger worlds, tighter controls, and more personality from the Purple Dragon made Ripto's Rage one of the most charming 3D platformers of the time. The hub worlds were more interactive, the characters were more expressive thanks to voice acting, and the new abilities, like swimming and head bashing, opened up new gameplay opportunities. Paired with a whimsical soundtrack by Stuart Copeland, this game remains a gem of the era. At number 9, we have my personal favorite, Crash Bandicoot, Warped. The third game in the Crash trilogy, Warped, was a time-traveling adventure that nailed variety, polish, and fun. From medieval castles to jet ski chases, every level had something new to offer. The tighter controls, the introduction of relic time trials, and excellent boss battles made this the definitive Crash experience on PS1. It was Naughty Dog firing on all cylinders, and for many, it's still the best Crash game ever made. So if you haven't already, make sure you play the excellent remake in the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, available for modern platforms. At number 8, we have the original Silent Hill. Where Resident Evil leaned into action horror, Silent Hill mastered psychological terror. Foggy streets, haunting audio design, and disturbing imagery made this one of the scariest games of its time. Its use of fixed camera angles, gritty textures, and a chilling soundtrack by Akira Yamaoka turned limitations into strengths. It's a slow burn, but one that leaves a lasting impact, and it kicked off a franchise with a unique identity. Speaking of unique identities, at number 7, we have Gran Turismo 2, touted as the real driving simulator, and with over 600 cars, dozens of tracks, and a remarkably deep tuning system, Gran Turismo 2 was a massive leap in realism and scale. This was the racing game for car lovers and casual players alike. The simulation mode was robust, the license tests were infamously challenging, and the car handling was unmatched at the time. It also showcased the PS1's ability to deliver real-world authenticity, helping solidify the console as more than just a platform for action games. Speaking of action games, at number 6 is Tekken 3. Tekken 3 wasn't just a great fighter, it was a landmark title in the fighting genre. With a huge roster of memorable characters, fluid 3D movement, and responsive controls, it set the gold standard for console fighting games. The game's graphics pushed the PS1 to its limits, and its accessibility made it a hit with casual players, while its depth rewarded competitive play. It even came with fun extras like Tekken Force Mode and the mini volleyball game Tekken Ball. At number 5, we have Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. This was the game that made you feel like a skateboarding legend. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 improved on every aspect of the original. Smoother controls, better graphics, and most importantly, the introduction of the manual, which completely transformed how combos worked. The soundtrack was iconic, featuring punk and hip-hop tracks that defined a generation. Even today, the gameplay holds up as tight, fast, and incredibly fun. It's more than just a sports game, it's a cultural touchstone. And the modern remake, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2, is absolute fire. So definitely play that one if you can't get your hands on the original PlayStation 1 version. Now we're getting to the good stuff. At number 4, we have Resident Evil 2. RE2 took everything great about the first game and expanded it. 2 playable characters, branching scenarios, better graphics, and even more memorable locations, like the Raccoon City Police Department, made this a survival horror masterpiece. The tension was real, the puzzles were clever, and the zombies were truly terrifying. Leon and Claire's debut was unforgettable, and this game laid the groundwork for modern horror games with cinematic ambition. And the remake on modern platforms is just fantastic. This is definitely a game you should play if you're into survival horror games. At number 3, we have Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Symphony of the Night wasn't a huge hit at first, but it went on to become one of the most influential games ever. It ditched the linear style for an open castle to explore, with RPG leveling, loot, and secrets hidden in every corner. Alucard's smooth controls, the haunting music, and the beautiful 2D art direction all make this game a timeless classic. It's the game that defined the Metroidvania genre and still inspires developers to this day. And speaking of inspiring developers, on our number 2 spot, we have Final Fantasy VII. This game didn't just define the PS1, it redefined what RPGs could be. With its 3-disc epic story, cinematic cutscenes, unforgettable characters, and incredible music, Final Fantasy VII brought JRPGs into the mainstream. Cloud, Tifa, Aerith, and of course, Sephiroth. These characters aren't just iconic, they're legendary. But Final Fantasy VII is so much more than its incredible cast. This game tackled huge themes like identity, grief, environmentalism, and corporate greed in a way that hit harder than a meteor spell. It was bold, it was beautiful, and it left an unforgettable mark on gaming history. So, even if you've been swept away by the stunning visuals of FF7 Remake and Rebirth, trust me, you need to experience the PS1 original. There's a certain magic, a unique charm, and so many hidden gems in the classic that you just won't find anywhere else. Go play it. You won't regret it. And finally, taking our coveted number 1 spot is Metal Gear Solid. This was the one game that proved that video games weren't just toys back in the 90s. This wasn't just a game, it was a revelation. It delivered a cinematic stealth action experience unlike anything anyone had seen before, masterfully weaving together innovative gameplay, a gripping storyline, unforgettable voice acting, and revolutionary presentation. It felt like the future, today. Think about it. The sheer genius of the Psycho Mantis fight, the intricate web of codec calls, the tension of every single enemy encounter. Every detail was crafted with purpose. Solid Snake transcended the screen, becoming an icon. Metal Gear Solid didn't just set a new bar for action games, it boldly declared that video games could tell incredibly deep, morally complex, and genuinely powerful stories that stick with you long after the credits roll. Its legacy is still felt today. You have to experience it. And that's our list of the top 10 PS1 games of all time. What were your favorite PlayStation classics? Did your personal game of all time make the list? Or did we miss one you love? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more top video game rankings. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.